We got all these new polls that nobody else is reporting on, right? Because, we know the mainstream media. The mainstream media has their script. They're sticking to it. It's Kamala, Kamala, Kamala all day long. She's like, oh my gosh, she's like movie star status. George Clooney might have something to do with this. Anyway, there are some polls that no one's talking about. Some stunning new polls that I want to share with you because I actually think that this is important, right? Like, they just want to keep knocking them down, knocking them down, knocking them down. They want you to have no enthusiasm because that's how they felt just a few weeks ago. Let's take a look at some good news. I'm a realist. We have to be careful, but a little bit of good news coming to us from the Trafalgar Group, North Carolina presidential election, August 2024. How do you like this? He's ahead. He's ahead by quite a few points there. Okay, the blue is Kamala. I find that interesting. Nobody's talking about this. He's ahead in North Carolina quite a bit. Okay, let's move on to Nevada. He's also ahead pretty significantly in Nevada by an even larger margin. Again, this just coming out today. Nobody wants to talk about the good news. Well, I got some. All right, a little bit of good news. Plus, we're also seeing in Arizona. Now, this is a biggie because Arizona is one of those states that could kind of go any way. A lot of people thought that Kamala Harris was going to pick Mark Kelly because somehow Mark Kelly was going to help deliver Arizona, and she wanted that. A lot of people thought she was going to pick Shapiro because he could help deliver Pennsylvania. But no, she went with the the guy out of Minnesota that's pretty left, okay? Pretty left. We can talk more about that. And likes to lie. A lot. But did you see that in Arizona? That was some good news too. I think that's fantastic to see. So you've got Arizona, you've got Nevada, you've got North Carolina, all just coming in pretty strong for him. The other thing that's really important that nobody's talking about is the Siena poll that was just out the other day. New York Times talked all about how, Trump's momentum, blah, 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 Kamala's everything, be all, end all. Yet, Trump still has a 6-point lead on the issue of the economy with swing state voters. In other words, who do they trust most? It's still Donald Trump. So it is my firm belief that if he really leans in hard, and he did, he spoke with Elon about some of these big issues like the economy in the big X interview just last night. If he leans in hard to this, then he's going to pull it off. And it's not easy. It's not easy because these people are so committed, if you would, so committed to a non-stop narrative that is growing pretty darn nauseating, shall I say, after a while, right? That's the truth of it, ladies and gentlemen. But take a listen to him talking about the issue of inflation there with Elon Musk just last night.
Well, with all of that being said, to me, that's so important, the most important. But with all of that being said, the election's coming up and the people want to hear about the economy and the fact that they can't buy groceries because they don't have enough money to buy groceries. The inflation has killed them. Food prices are up 50, 60, even 100% in some cases. And this stupid administration allowed this to happen. And it's a shame. And that's the thing that people most care about, in my opinion. They care about the border a lot. And we discussed the border at great length. It's nice to have a forum like this where I can discuss something at length. And by the way, you think Biden could do this interview? Do you think that Kamala could do this interview? They would take a pass on you.
No, they could not.
So they don't need Elon. They don't need Elon screaming out questions. It's pretty sad.
It was actually a really interesting 2-hour-long discussion. The mainstream media went wild. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But consider what he mentioned there on the economy and the border. These are two big things for him. Safety, right? Personal safety. You want to make sure that your kids can go to school and have safe streets to walk. You want to make sure that you can afford those groceries every week. Well, a big part of this, by the way, is also taking some accountability for your own finances just a little bit. I mean, the government, don't get me wrong, they're completely messed up. But I want to encourage everybody to do their part. We are thankful to our great show sponsor, American Hartford Gold, for their contribution to making sure that I can do this show for you every single day for free. Let's take a listen. Hey everyone, I'm Trish Regan, and so happy to be coming to you live all week long from the stunning island of Ireland. Just incredible. When I was a little kid and we'd visit here, my mom would say, if you're lucky enough, you might actually get a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, because that's where the leprechauns leave it. So we looked, we didn't find any, but I consider it probably having been good advice, because as I got older, I learned that gold is pretty valuable. It's valuable in terms of diversification. I encourage you to take a look at it, and when you do, call our friends, our wonderful sponsors over at American Hartford Gold. You can go to trishlovesgold.com, Trish Loves Gold, and wow, it's windy here. You can text 65532, my name, Trish, to 65532 for your chance to get up to $15,000 in free silver, ladies and gentlemen. Just a terrific offer. Indeed, indeed. We're going to talk more about gold a little bit later on in the show. But consider how aggressively the media has just been attacking. And consider what they've done for Kamala Trump. For Kamala Harris versus Trump. I mean, Kamala is just somehow, being crowned. I mean, effectively, this is like a coronation. It's like we've got the British press that has to kowtow to the King of England or something. I mean, this is really disturbing. They are giving her so much momentum, and then they're all happy because she's got some momentum. You wonder how that works. Listen, I think the American people are smart enough. They're going to see through this. We just have to hope that they see through it in time, right? Let's watch this clip of all this momentum that they've been able to generate for her, and then the pat on the back as a result.
Battleground momentum. New numbers showing the Harris-Walz ticket is gaining ground.
Vice President Harris gaining momentum.
Momentum in some key states.
This morning, Vice President Kamala Harris gaining momentum.
Gaining momentum.
But
look, this momentum, keeping the momentum.
Harris's momentum.
You can't slow down the momentum.
This remarkable momentum.
Mission number one
okay,
is
guys,
create the momentum.
We got it, right? All right, you're all excited about the momentum. But that's why I led the show with the other momentum, the fact that Donald Trump is still winning in so many of these polls, the fact that he still has a 6-point lead on the economy. This is the stuff that you don't hear about because they want the momentum to take off. They want you to be demoralized. Well, I have news for them. You know what? The American public is so much smarter than that, and I just don't think it's going to work. Try as they may.